I own but one WWF VHS from the year 1998, believe it or not, and no, it's not SummerSlam, it's not WrestleMania, it's not even the Royal Rumble. Ladies and gentlemen, it's this one. So it must be good, mustn't it? And welcome to this. It's another episode of 1998. Was it great? Surprisingly, we look in this series at the year 1998 in both the WWF and WCW and see if the pay-per-views were any good. Tonight, as you can tell by the title of this there vid, we're going to be looking at Fully Loaded 1998. Bit of a forgotten show, really, because it's between the King of the Ring, 1998, that everyone remembers because of the Hell in a Cell, if nothing else, and of course it's in between SummerSlam, 1998, which is everyone regards as a brilliant show and one that I'm genuinely looking forward to watching. This one's a bit of a forgotten one. It's the one that's in between, isn't it? But before we talk about the show, let's talk about the night after the King of the Ring, because 4 significant things happened on that show, and I'd like to just touch on them for a second. Firstly, Stone Cold Steve Austin brilliantly goaded Kane into a title rematch on that very night, saying, "Well, if you don't give me this title shot, if you don't give me the rematch, basically you're just proving that you're not as good as the Undertaker." And so obviously, after much stalling from Vince and from Paul Bearer, Kane agreed to give him the rematch, and Austin won the championship. Secondly, Steven Regal made his debut in a match with Droz. In my mind, I had utterly forgotten that this ever happened. Honestly, I seem to remember in the old memory banks, William Regal making his debut, or as Steven Regal even, as he's a man, the real man's man. And I remember him, the Survivor Series, I don't remember this happening. He came out in his WCW character. Apparently, he only made 2 appearances at this time. When you proper blink and you'll miss him. So that's probably why I don't remember. I'm just wondering if anyone else, the reason I'm mentioning this, is does anyone else remember this? Thirdly, well, I'm getting way out of myself there. Thirdly, Paul Ellering made his return to the World Wrestling Federation, turning on the Legion of Doom. We'll talk about that one more in a bit. I just thought it was an interesting one. But mainly, all of this pale into insignificance. If you were watching Raw, if you were a fan of today's generation, if you've never seen this sort of time period, and you've got the network and you go back and watch these Raws, you'll hear this music and you'll think, what the fuck, Ezekiel Jackson coming out? The Brawl for All. I've got a page of notes about it. I'm going to talk about them now, and then here's the thing, we'll never mention it ever again. How does that sound? So, the legendary, as I've put here, Brawl for All tournament, since in the UFC and the like was starting to get rather popular, Vince Russo was allowed to book a real fighting tournament featuring 3 one-minute rounds, scoring 5 points for the most punches in a round, 5 points for a takedown, and 10 points for a knockdown. It was WWF's attempt of showing us how tough their wrestlers were. Basically, by saying that what you're watching, basically on the show, it was like they were saying that wrestling stuff, that's all fake, right? But this shit, what you're watching right now, that's real. Very, very confusing. The real idea behind the tournament is to bring in a wrestler that no one had heard of outside of the NWA called Steve Williams, Dr. Death. Steve Williams, known for to be a genuine tough guy. I'm sure good old Jim Ross had been trying to recruit this guy to WWF for years and years and years. Basically, the plan is this. Williams, being the well-tough guy that he is, plows through the Brawl for All tournament, eliminates all comers, and then we've got a new number 1 contender to Steve Austin, and it's all good. One tiny problem. Well, there's a few problems in this one. Let's start off with the obvious one. Matches were atrocious. They were so bad. Trust me, I've recently watched many of them. For example, legitimate, well-known boxer Mark Mero clashing with legitimate mixed martial arts expert Steve Blackman, right? On paper, you'd think that it'd be good, but of course it's a complete clash of styles, so it doesn't make for a good match. Secondly, No, that's not secondly. Yeah, secondly, the fans hated this shit. They were there to see pro wrestling. They don't want to see anything like this. If they want to go and see boxing or MMA or anything, they will go and watch that. But they're here to see wrestling. Men got hurt doing this, like real injuries. Savio Vega had to retire from the company from the injuries that he sustained, for example. That's not good. You know, it was a voluntary thing. You know, you didn't. No one was forced into it. And amazingly, it gave people that wouldn't normally be on Raw a chance to be on Raw. So I guess that some people were in this tournament to do that. Remember Brackus? Because I fucking don't. But when he wandered out on Raw one time, you're like, who the fuck is that? And he got the shit kicked out of him by Savio Vega. Lastly, this plan failed miserably because Dr. Death Steve Williams was knocked the fuck out by Bart Gunn. Bart Gunn won $75,000 to do this, and he won the tournament. But he wasn't meant to win, so he didn't get any sort of push out of it. One good thing did come from the Brawl for All. I put BFA and couldn't remember what it stood for. One good thing did come from the BFA. I like the music. I like that. It's good. It worked for Zeke. Anyway, so one more. A week late after this Raw, Taker demanded a title shot. I just want to talk about this one last thing because there's a classic moment on it. Vince made it Austin and Taker versus Kane and Mankind at Fully Loaded. And you're like, fair enough, all right. He also said there'd be a number one contendership match tonight for an unspecified time. He didn't actually specify when this title shot would take place. Turns out this title shot will take place at SummerSlam, which is next month. They just cannot understand why the number one contendership match doesn't take place at Fully Loaded. It just, in my mind, I just cannot figure why they would build up 2 months essentially to a pay-per-view when there's a pay-per-view in between that time. It doesn't bode well for the pay-per-view that we'll be looking at tonight, does it? Anyway, in the match, it was meant to be Kane, Undertaker, and Mankind. Undertaker no-showed and got Vince McMahon got Tony Chimel to call him chicken shit on the mic, which is funny. Kane won the match, okay, and then literally with 10 seconds left of Raw, Kane gets in the middle of the ring. Vince has been on commentary, he's goading Undertaker. And Kane pulls off the mask, there's a spoiler for you, and it's Undertaker underneath, and it was amazing. Then it instantly cut off, and it was one of those, oh, you've just made me want to tune into next week, so the fuck just happened? But that visual is one that will stay with me forever. The one of Kane you'd be like, fuck, was he taking his mask off? Pulls his mask off, and it's Undertaker with eye makeup and that. Oh, brilliant. Absolute gold. We are live at the Selland, I think that's how it's said, arena in Fresno, California, which of course, as we all know, home of the 1996 Royal Rumble. There are 9,855 fans on board. So as far as I can tell, there's no dark matches. Let's get on with this buy rate for this one, 0.9, which sounds all right until you remember that the Bash at the Beach, which of course had Dennis Rodman and Carl Maloney on it, which we'll be talking next episode, they had 1.5 buy rate. So, fuck it. Show starts with King. He's in the back talking to Sable, and she offers him a peek at her bikini. He comes across as a creepy, dirty, old pervert watching this back. Okay, so in our opening contest, I'm sorry I've waffled on for so long, but there's a lot to talk about. Val Venis defeating Jarrett and a decent opener. Kai and Tai had attacked Val Venis. Yamaguchi-san slapped Val Venis in the face, so Val did the only thing that a babyface can do in this situation. He made a porn film with Yamaguchi-san's wife. Well, why not? Anyway, this is Val Venis' pay-per-view debut. It's been interesting watching him on the Raws from 1998 because he came out originally and just spoke in his normal voice. When he cuts his pre-match promo this time, he's got the deepness, the hello, lady. That's an awful impression. Hello, ladies. That's just as bad. But you know what I mean? He's got the gravel, he's got the depth in the voice. He wants to take his pants off as part of his pre-match promo, but he's interrupted by Tennessee Lee, Jeff Jarrett, and Southern Justice. And then Yamaguchi-san comes out to the ring to do commentary. He's here to look at Val. King wants to talk about Yamaguchi-san's wife, obviously, but Yamaguchi is basically here to say one thing, and that's tomorrow night, Val, you are in the trouble. And of course, this will lead to the infamous Choppy your pee skit, which we all remember and love. Oh my god, the Attitude Era was amazing. Anyway, the match is alright. Crowd are hot for Val, and the porn star looks like he's got his working boots on, to be honest. He counters a pile driver, but Jarrett gets a powerbomb, which gets a big pop. Lee gets some shots in. Inside, Jarrett gets a sweet DDT, but can't get the figure 4 on. So instead, he puts a sleeper on. Val counters into one of his own, and Jarrett, quite wisely, suplexes him out of it. Belly to belly by Val, crossbody by Jarrett. Power slam by Val. He wants the money shot, but Jarrett counters. Ref is mildly bumped. Lee crotches Val and Jarrett to get a superplex, but the follow-up figure 4 is countered into a roll-up, and then heel miscommunication between the heels leads to a roll-up for Val at 7 minutes and 48 seconds, which, in my humble opinion, is about 2 minutes less. This one should... Tell me you heard that. Bear in mind that I live 13 floors in the air. I can hear someone on the road there laughing. Oh, dear me. Anyway, yeah, this one I thought, yeah, about 2 minutes too short. I was enjoying the match. Decent opener. Crowd were hot, like I say, a bit too short. We get a view of the Hart house in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Isn't that an interesting one? I know through wrestling where that is. No, why would I know where Calgary is otherwise? Have you ever noticed that one? I can tell you so many American states and cities and states through wrestling. It's absolutely amazing. It really is. Oh, dear me. Yeah, dungeon match tonight at the Hart House. Second match is D'Lo Brown defeating X-Pac in an alright match. Before we talk about this match, surely, we have to talk about something that happened 3 weeks earlier. 3 weeks before we got the infamous Nation versus DX parody. I cannot put it into words. I can't do justice on just how entertaining this skit was. Jason Sensation as Owen Hart. I watched it today and it was still entertaining. It's not the be-all and end-all. It's not the greatest thing in the history of the world like the WWF will have you believe, but it is still, to this day, it is still a very, very entertaining skit. It's one of those things, I could go into detail about it, but sure, you must have seen it. Sure, there is no one watching this. In fact, if you are watching this video now and you've never seen the DX Nation parody, please go and look at it. Right, here's an interesting one. This one might be controversial, yeah, but would it be bad to say that I thought the NWO's parody of the Four Horsemen was better than this in some respects? Certainly more entertaining. You know, would that be a fair one? Some people have suggested that one. That's an interesting one for you guys to talk about. Anyway, Brown won the European Championship 6 days before this after much interference from the Nation. Title wasn't on the line here, though, because it's not. It just isn't. Matches back and forth with some nice kicks. Brown puts the brakes on with a Healy chinlock. He follows with a hard Irish whip in the corner and has a nice leg drop for 2. Brown is whipped chest first into a turnbuckle. Now, he has that fuck-off big chest protector on. Why would that hurt? Explain that one to me. He sells it as well, goes down on his knees, clutching his chest. Like, I don't know what... How does that hurt? Anyway, he gets an elbow off the second rope and another chin lock. X-Pac's history of neck injuries means that a chin lock actually works in the context of this match. Like, alright, okay, though. Crowd don't care. Brown misses a moonsault. X-Pac can take control, but then the Godfather distracts X-Pac, allowing Brown to hit the sky high for the win. Match is alright. You expect it to lead to a series of matches, but X-Pac got the shit kicked out of it. He got nothing. Got a couple of kicks in the early going and that's it. Very strange. Edge is here, and he's brooding. King bigs up Sable, which is something he's been doing almost constantly the entire show so far. And then at the WWF.com desk, Kevin Kelly and his awful facial hair tell us that The Undertaker isn't here yet. Wow, shit. What they're going to do in the main event. 2 Cold Scorpio and Farooq defeating Bradshaw and Terry Funk in a poor match. So everything, you know, so far, get it right. So far, 2 matches and they've both been alright. Trust me, it goes so downhill from here. Wow, Scorpio, you know, not Flash Funk, it's 2 Cold Scorpio. Before this match, Funk tells us that this is his last match for 6 months, and his tag team partner, Bradshaw, is not impressed with this. Now, tell me something, folks. Have these two teamed up much before this? Because as you know, as well as watching the pay-per-views, I'm watching the Raws in between. I should be doing it with Nitro. I know, before anyone says, I know, I just can't. I haven't got the time in my life. I'm enjoying going back and watching these episodes, a lot of them that I've not seen since the night or the week that they aired. You know? Now, the reason I'm telling you this is that Bradshaw and Terry Funk haven't teamed up on one episode of Raw, as far as I can tell. So they might be teaming up on Shotgun Saturday Night, but, you know, it's just one of those things. It's like, if they haven't been teaming up, why does Bradshaw care? Anyway, nothing special until Farooq counters a Bradshaw shoulder tackle into a sweet power slam. Bradshaw hits a super back suplex to silence. Funk beats on Scorpio on the outside, including a splash of sorts. It's like, he does almost springboards up and then comes down like that. It's very strange. Splash off the top by Scorpio, gets no reaction, to the point where a boring chant breaks out. And you're just going, a boring chant in the middle of the Attitude Era. Come on. That's not surprising. It's worth it, though. Match is awful. That's how good this match is, honestly. 4-fish splash on Funk, gets a mild pop and the win. And then guess what? Yeah, you guessed it right. Bradshaw batters everyone and turns heel. Because why not? Next, it gets better. Oh wait, no, it doesn't at all. Mark Henry defeated Vader in a crap match. This is one of those ones that just got bad written all over it. Unless you particularly like seeing big men fighting, it's one of those, no, don't care. The only highlight of this 5-minute match is Mark Henry hitting a sunset flip. That's your lot. Vader gets a splash, Henry kicks out, hits a power slam and a splash of his own to get the win. Hooray. Another shot of the Hart House, and Taker still isn't here, but don't worry, folks, don't worry, fans. Tom Pritchard is fucking certain that Taker will be there. Don't give a shit. Kevin Kelly's like, oh, no, really, Taker's not here. We're an hour into the pay-per-view. Where the fuck is Taker? Tom Pritchard's just like, no, I'm confident he's going to be here, so fuck it. Kane, Mankind, and Paul Bearer come out to at first taunt Undertaker for not being there. I knew it. Taker doesn't want to face his brother Kane. It's like they've had 5 matches at this point. Fuck off! It's like, why would... Oh, I can't take you seriously when he says that. They fought at WrestleMania. They fought in an Inferno match. They've had a couple of tag matches and whatever, like the 3-way match on Raw. Come on. No, he's not. It's not the case at all. Anyway, the New Age Outlaws come out. They challenge him to a tag match on Raw tomorrow night. And then when they can't make up their mind, they batter them, which is nice. A DOA defeating the Legion of Doom 2000 in a rubbish match. The two teams had a street fight the night after Over the Edge, just so you might want to know that, plodding along nicely until the Undertaker showed up and battered everyone, which was funny. Paul Ellering showed up in the early 90s, if you remember, when the Legion of Doom were in the WF. Back then, it all led to the infamous Rocco shit, which was fucking all kinds of awful. If you don't know what I mean when I mention the Legion of Doom and Rocco, consider yourself very fortunate. This is probably the best thing I can say. And yeah, Paul Ellering returned to the Legion of Doom, and no one knew who he was. And this is another one of those times. It's like the NWA invasion in 1998, right? If you know your wrestling history, and you're like someone like me who studies wrestling history and tries to absorb as much as he can and loves it all, seeing Paul Ellering is like, fucking hell, that's Paul Ellering. That's awesome. But to your average casual fan, or to your new fan, or to your young fan, they'll look and go, the fuck are you? And they will react accordingly. And it really is one of those, I just don't care. And this match just exemplifies that, because Ellering has turned on the LOD and sided with DOA, who just no one cares about. Come on. Anyway, match is everything you would expect from an LOD match, which is, say it along with me if you want. LOD own, Hawk gets owned, Animal gets your face in peril, Doomsday Device. Okay. Sorry, did I say that wrong? Hawk's your face in peril, Animal's your hot tag. Yeah, Doomsday Device, and then, for a nice little twist, we get a switcheroo between 8-Ball and Skull. So, a DDT, a simple, bog-standard DDT on Animal gets the win. Why the fuck not? Oh, dear me. Out comes Mr. McMahon with the Stooges to tell us, oh yeah, give us a little bit of hope that if Undertaker doesn't show, Austin will get that that phrase, I hate this one, suitable replacement, because most of the time when I hear suitable replacement, your definition of suitable is quite different to mine. But anyway, the point is that they say that they'll have a suitable replacement, and the replacement turns out to be Brooklyn Brawler. So you sat there going, well, no, I hope Undertaker doesn't show up, but I want him to. I want Brawler and Taker. Brawler and Austin, sorry. Next, Owen Hart defeating Ken Shamrock in an interesting, there's one I don't, a word you don't use to describe a match very often, is it? It was an interesting match. Match in the infamous Hart Dungeon. Because they can, damn it. Dan Severn and his freaking epic mustache is the guest referee. Only way to win is submission. They claim it's live, but come on, it's not. It really isn't. Something about seeing a belly-to-belly suplex on bare floor by Owen Hart that really makes you wince. And even more so when the belly-to-belly was by Ken, sorry. And then even more so when Owen returns the favour with a fucking German suplex on the floor. Why not? There's no mat, there is no padding, it's just ground with some carpet on. The way these two men throw each other into the wooden walls is ridiculous. They don't put their hands up before they go into the wall. At one point, Ken has got Owen and is just banging his head into the wall, just repeatedly, like sort of almost like checking his watch, like. The intensity in this match is absolutely fucking crazy, and there's some really interesting stuff, like there's a pipe that runs across the room. Owen jumps up onto this pipe and delivers a Hurricane Rana. That's really nice. Even better when Ken tries to do the same thing and Owen goes, fucking don't be stupid, and power bombs him out of it onto the floor. But of course, the thing about this match is it's got a stupid. Is it stupid? It's got a finish that I can't decide whether it's absolute fucking genius or so dumb. You tell me in the comments below what you think, please. I'd love it if you would, alright? Because Ken goes for a Insiguri, which misses and knocks out guest referee Dan the Beast Severn. So Owen, quick as a flash, grabs a dumbbell, because of course there's some down there, because they work out down there, grabs a dumbbell, whacks Ken Shamrock round the head, puts on a crossface, and just as Dan Severn's coming round, Owen uses Ken's hand to make him tap out, because he's unconscious. Dan sees that, it's a bit groggy, and wins awards the match to Owen. It's one of those ones where sometimes, if you think about it, it's like, that's very clever. Owen's a heel, he's allowed to do things like that. On the flip side, you go, that's a fucking stupid finish, alright? I haven't decided, at this point, I've got a blank space for the star rating for this match. I swear, hand on heart. Look down below to see what in the time it took between recording this and uploading it, what I decided, alright? How's that sound? It was brutal at times, this match. Genuinely was. But because it was taped or pre-recorded or whatever, and was being shown on the on the big screen in the arena, and there's just no noise at all, so it was weird. It was, in fact, wasn't even a big screen. Do you know, I've got a feeling that the people live in the arena wouldn't have seen this, because I don't recall seeing a big screen anywhere. So maybe the reason that there was utter silence during this entire match is that every one of those 9,000 fans had fucked off for a piss. Anyway, Rock defeating Hunter Hearst Helmsley. No, he didn't at all, don't be lying. The Rock and Hunter Hearst Helmsley fighting to a draw in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Obviously, this match is meant to be title versus title. Rock is the Intercontinental Champion. Hunter Hearst Helmsley was the European Champion, but Hunter selfishly lost the European Championship to D'Lo Brown. What a selfish bastard. I think, although I could not be sure, this is a test of sorts. It's obviously obvious that the WWF, it's obviously obvious. You'll subscribe to me. It's obvious, isn't it, that the WWF are very high on both men. They are the leaders of their respective factions. So give them half an hour and see what they can do. It's one of those, why not? Nation and DX are both banned from ringside by Commissioner Slaughter, so I'm sure we won't see any of those. Fall number 1 after some back and forth. Rock tells China to suck it, and this makes Hunter mad, so he batters him and gives him some beats, and China gets a slap in just because she can as well. Pedigree's countered, they brawl up the entranceway, then round the ring. Nothing bad, nothing special. Back inside, Hunter gets a neck breaker, a snap suplex, and a knee drop. Rock chucks him to the outside, so Mark Henry comes waddling out and splashes him. There's running number 1 of many. Billy Gunn makes a save. Rock uses the Intercontinental Championship belt to get a 2 count. China had the referee distracted. Rock gets 2 off a neckbreaker and then heals it up like a good one with a chinlock. King enjoys this chinlock so much that he takes some time out of his busy day to talk about Sable. Did I mention that he's been doing this almost constantly throughout this? Sure. After some more brawling at ringside, Rock botches a float over DDT, but he's able to use his momentum to still hit a DDT, if that makes sense. He wants to do the float over, that bit doesn't work, but he's still in position to be able to do the DDT. That's all right, then. We'll let him off that one. Then he goes back to the chin lock, because he can. Hard to believe how dull this match has been so far. It feels like they've got half an hour, but they've actually only got about 10 minutes of content, so they really have to fill it out. So at any point that they can to do a rest, they do. Godfather comes out, but before he can get to the ring, the new Age Outlaws come in and stop him. And Godfather says, "Nah, fair enough," and walks to the back. It's like the Outlaws like, no. He's like, "Nah, fucking see you." I didn't want to interfere anyway. I was told to come out here, yeah, and they're all mates and they go backstage, weird. Utterly pointless. So then, Rock jawjacks with the referee. The referee keeps threatening to disqualify him. We don't know why. He just keeps saying that, and Rock is jawjacking. This allows D'Lo Brown to come out. He's got the European Championship. Or Hunter gets it, whacks D'Lo in the face. But when Hunter turns round, rock bottom. At, when was it? Was it 20 minutes? The first fall. In a 30-minute 2 out of 3 falls match. The first fall went 20 minutes, and it's just one of those way too long. And there was 4 run-ins in that first fall. And you start there thinking to yourself, like, so we haven't seen Owen Hart, and we haven't seen X-Pac during these run-ins. So are we going to see those ones in the second and third fall? Are we going to get run-ins by all of the Nation and all of DX? Shawn Michaels has been doing commentary on Raw the 2 weeks previous to this. Was he going to come out in 5th, for example? Fall 2 starts with brawling at ringside. Again, we get the now named People's Elbow. Reaction is getting bigger every time. We get 2. Double KO spot. Feels some more time. D'Lo comes out again, but Chyna stops him before he can get in the ring. Rock tells her off, allowing X-Pac to come in. There he is, hitting a sweet X-Factor on the Rock, which gets a near fall. I was convinced that was Equalizer right there. Hunter brings a chair in. Rock gets it, but KOs the ref accidentally with a nasty shot to the back. Chyna in, low blow, DDT on the chair, and a cover by Hunter gets 3 to equalise at 26:37. So that's 7 run-ins. 7 in 26 minutes. Fall 3 starts with another ref sprint into the ring to make a cover, because Hunter did the right thing and just went for a cover straight away. First referee just used every bit of energy that he had left to make that 3 count. Brawling at ringside. I know! Who would have thunk it? Face bust by Hunter gets 2, Samoan drop gets 2 for Rock. Rock bottom count into a pedigree, but the referee won't count it because the 30 minutes have expired despite the bell not ringing, which is a bit strange. And so the match is a draw. It is okay. It is overbooked to utter haze. I remember this being a good match, but I think the benefit of hindsight and the benefit of knowing what these two will accomplish in the year 2000, which wipes the floor with anything that they do previously. It's their matches in between this and 2000 are night and day. But the fucking silver lining that we all know is that next month at SummerSlam, we know they're going to put on a good match, right? How's that sound? In the back, Kevin Kelly is a happy man because the Undertaker's arrived. Woohoo! Jacqueline defeating Sable in a bikini contest. Oh dear me. Dustin Runnels comes out to pray for our very souls about this bikini contest. Man, the build up to this one is so bad. I mean, name calling and cattiness at its absolute worst. Jackie basically trying to say that Sable couldn't satisfy Mark Miro. And then Sable coming back with, well, actually, no, that's not the case. I was all good. It was Mark who couldn't get it up. Now, at this point, you sat arguing about it, and Mark needing Viagra and everything. But, I mean, it's one of those things. I just don't get it. I mean, if Mark couldn't get it up for Sable, there's probably something wrong there. But anyway, the point is, it's just sat there going, tramp, ho, skank, and you start going, oh, I just don't give a shit, just get your fucking clothes off. I was 15 at the time when this pay-per-view was going out. This was awesome to me, right? Looking back at it now as a 31, almost 32-year-old man, it's not nice. It's weird, because, right, for a start, King, who when you were 15 you tolerated and sort of laughed along with, just looks like a creepy, dirty, seedy old man. I feel a bit creepy and dirty and seedy looking at these girls. Jacqueline, to her credit, looks great. She's got a fucking awesome ass, is what I'll say. She even gets a bit of nip slip, so if you want to go and watch the show, because nip slips at my age is one of those things I just don't understand. You see a nip slip on Raw, on the internet, the IWC explodes in a sort of orgy of let's all prove to the world that we're all fucking virgins. You know what I mean? Whereas it's like, come on, the amount of fucking free porn that you can get these days, you don't need to see a nipple. You can see whatever you want. Why would anyone care about a nip slip? When you're 15, nip slip is amazing. Sable teases us with a short top. She says Mr. McMahon says it's in her best interest to wear something conservative. She doesn't agree, however. She takes the short top off, and the bikini is quite literally a handprint painted on. And King looks like he has a combination of a heart attack and an orgasm at once, which was funny the first time you see it. When you've seen it 20 times, it doesn't really have the same appeal as do the handprints. You know, she looks great. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, you just start again. Yeah, I've seen it all before. You'll never this segment will never be as good as when you first watched it. Let's put it that way. Yeah, of course. The thing is, the handprints aren't a bikini, so she loses the match. But the thing is, of course, who cares? You're not sat looking. You're not looking at Jackie, are you? Mr. McMahon comes out, puts his jacket around her, and that's that. Hooray! Fucking you. So, our main event is The Undertaker and Steve Austin defeating Kane and Mankind in a match to become tag team champions. What was I going to say here? Kane and Mankind have been champions for 13 days. They won the championships from the New Age Outlaws 13 days ago on Raw. Storyline is that going in here, it basically is that Vince has been trying to say to Austin that Undertaker and Kane are in cahoots to get Austin. So basically, can Austin trust his teammate? Why the fuck not? One of the thoughts going into this match is surely Mankind is the only one who's going to sell in this, because Kane doesn't sell, and Undertaker doesn't sell, and Austin's an ass-whooping machine. So this one surely is going to be Mankind taking the majority of the punishment. One last thing before we get on. I'm pretty certain that Taker debuts the Ministry music here. I'm pretty certain of that. Anyway, Austin makes it clear that he's starting the match with a single digit. He batters both Mankind and Kane, then tags in Taker, who hits a leg sweep and old school before Mankind can take control. So the dead man is your dead man in peril, as much as he can be. Undertaker's not a selling kind of guy. In a match like this, it's weird because he does take a bit of punishment, but not a great deal. And every chance he gets, he gets some moves in anyway. Crowd don't care in the slightest when they do make up noises for one thing and one thing only you can guess. That's Austin. Mankind sets up the cactus elbow, but Austin shoves him off the apron onto the English announce table. That's pretty awesome. Taker gets the TDT, allowing him to get that actual hot tag to Austin, who unloads, hitting Kane with one hell of a chair shot, which of course Kane no-sells the shit out of, and Austin becomes your rattlesnake in peril. And eventually, he's able to counter a chokeslam into a tombstone. Into a stunner, one for Mankind. Taker is hesitant about the tag, but eventually does the right thing. Tags, chokeslams for both Kane and Mankind, and a tombstone pile driver on Kane gets the win and the championships. And then Undertaker, calm aside, fucks off, both belts over his shoulders, something that Austin is not very impressed about one bit. Okay, so the good news coming out of this show, I think, is that we've got a lot of storyline development to go into SummerSlam. But this was like the way that TNA puts on a pay-per-view, and the whole of the pay-per-view is one big advert for Impact. You know what I mean? But it's the other way around this time. So we're paying for something. We're paying for an advert for the next show. But the storylines are set in motion. So you've got Rock Triple H. You've got Austin versus Taker. Owen versus X-Pac, etc., etc. It'll build. SummerSlam's brilliant. SummerSlam is a great show. Regarding tonight, though, I mean, there was only the one dud, but the majority of the matches, I mean, there's 4 matches that are 2 stars. So that says to me that we're in very average territory here. I'm going to be super nice. I'm going to go with something like 3.5, 4 out of 10. Trust me on this one, though. This one does not deserve any more than that. It's not a very good show. There's nothing that you should go out of your way to see on this show. I think we're probably actually going to go 2.5, 3, something. Well, you'll see down below, won't you? Ladies and gentlemen, what did you think of Fully Loaded 1998? Did you enjoy it? What did you think? Let me know down below if you don't mind. Please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please share this video. There is a share link down below. Hit that if you would. That'd be great. Check out my Facebook page. Growing in numbers all the time. That's amazing. My next vid in this series, as I said at the start, will be a Bash at the Beach 1998 review from WCW. I've been Mark P. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy and have a good day. Take it easy, guys.